Yo, what's up guys? It's Poster back at it with another YouTube video. And today's video is the small forwards, my top 3 favorite builds per position video. And today is the small forward. So you already know how we do it. Left-handed, number 38. And then for the first build I'm going to be showing y'all, it's the pure lockdown. This build's very good for 3s or 2s. You can guard any build in the game. It's very good for stage 3s. So you can get more fishing badges if you upgrade close shot instead of standing dunk. But I like it like that in case you like catch standing lobs. The reason I went small forward and the reason why this build is so much better as small forward is because it's the only build where you can get 4 shooting badges as a pure lock. So obviously I chose lockdown takeover, even though glass is good, but I think lockdown is just better for how the build is made. And the reason this build is actually in my very first YouTube video called "The Power of the Pure Reds." So you see, it's actually pretty fast since you're 6'7". You can box guards. You have as soon as you make the build, you have an 87 driving dunk, so you can get contact dunks. You still get 4 shooting badges, and you have all of these defensive badges, right? So right here, these are basically some badges that I would run if I'm playing 2s and I'm just spotting up and not setting screens. And if I had to end up setting screens, then as you'll see in a second, I'm just going to take off post move lockdown and put it on brick wall, because I mean that badge is decent. But so if I'm setting screens, put on brick wall, and then if I'm running a guard, then you take off like post move lockdown, brick wall, pogo, and you want to put like pick dodge or take rebound down some, and then put it on like pickpocket, right? So those are the badges for that. And then now on to the second build. We are going to be making, you already know, number 69. We're going to be making a build that's the defensive finishing posture, like you can see. And we want to go with the speed invert. And you can go with the one that has all 3 equal, so your strength is higher, it's at bigger bodies. But this is good just because you're so much faster and you better help defense. And you're going to be faster than all the other senses just because your speed's in the 90s whenever the build's at high enough overall, right? So you can either upgrade steel all the way, or you can take, like, basically you can put like steel or perimeter, whichever one you want higher, like this. So it doesn't really matter, but I would go with steel just so you can play all the passing lanes. So yeah, but you know, it's kind of just personal preference. But I would highly recommend going with steel over the perimeter defense, and then you know, and you can go 6'8", so you're like extra fast and dunk better, but you can go 6'9", just so you're better at getting boards and guarding centers. So obviously max wingspan. I go with slashing takeover, and then you've built a finisher, and the similarities to people, that doesn't really matter. So go to test build, and we're gonna look at its badges. So this build is very good for the pick and roll, and it can basically get guards and centers play good switch and hedge defense, and it can set good screens and roll to the basket faster than the centers can keep up with. So, you know, you're gonna have like the normals, like contact. Since you're just setting screens, I would not recommend like putting fancy footwork on really. But if you're still gonna hop step a lot, which the build can do like pretty good still, then I'd like maybe take off lobsity, you know, a little bit, and like put fancy footwork on or something just like that. Just whatever you want to do. And you have 7 shooting badges to work with, which is better than the last build we saw, which is the pure lock. So you can put on like cash and corner, so you should be straight green of diamond and floor general. And you know, bailout's the best playmaking badge, that's bronze. And then obviously like brick wall, since it's built meant to set screens, but the build also can just be a spot up lockdown, you know, even though that's mostly what the other build that I just showed you was for. So onto the third build now. This is a build that I like to call the Laker fan build because he's the person that I saw make it. He's a pretty good YouTuber for 2K, has a lot of high IQ. So you pick the pure finishing pot chart, and then the speed invert physical. So the build is a very like spread out badges. So the build can basically do everything. Just like the other 2 builds, they can still shoot, but it's not like you can make whites basically because your shooting stats are as high as like a pure sharp and stuff like that. But this build, I just made a video about flashy passing. This build is very good for that. They have like Dominator Floor, flashy passer, and like Lob City, and you can just go crazy. So you can like go burly, look big, but I like Define because your arms are longer. You go 6'8" since your ball handle's high, right? And you can either go max wingspan, and at 99 you get pro dribble moves, but I would rather go one tick down. So at 98 overall, you can get pro dribble moves, and that's why this build is so good because it gets pro dribble moves and you're a pure slasher. So now we just can take a look at the badges. And this build can catch lobs, very good obviously. But here you can look at the stats. It's pretty all around like physicals and badges and stats. So, you know, like the necessities like fancy, contact, and like slithery, and then, you know, like relentless. And acrobat on bronze is actually a very good like underrated badge. And then shooting, it depends like what you want your quick draw on, but personally this is probably like what I would run. So, and then you're gonna have like obviously like quick first step, some handles, some sort of pro moves you can actually dribble, like bailout, and this build can do like hop jumpers. That's why I run Space Creator, and you could run like that. I think it'd be good like having pogo stick, so because you're undersized. But this is my small force video.